All right, what's up, you guys? So, welcome back to another video. So, today we're going to be talking about grants. So, a couple things, the pros and cons of a grant, and then also some of the questions and the information you need to submit to look out for the grant application. So, I'm on two sites, so I'm actually going to show you one. Now, this is not blanket information, but typically the questions are going to be similar. So, um, mental note, have your AI based application ready, like Chat GPT or Copilot or anything of that nature. That's going to help you get through the grant applications questions. And then another note is on a separate, like a Microsoft Word document, you want to have your responses copy and paste it over to that Microsoft Word document because a lot of the times the questions they're going to be asking is going to be very similar. So I usually have ChatGPT open, the grant application, and then Google Docs or Microsoft Word. And then once you do all the, once you answer all the questions, then you have the ability to use that Microsoft Word. And then on your next application, you can copy and paste the responses. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to dive into a grant I found for you guys. All right, so the first one I want to share is the Restaurant Disaster Relief Fund. So this is just going to give you an example of what to expect when you're looking at grant applications. So I'm going to link everything below, but I like this website. Hello, Alice. This is what I recommend for a lot of my clients. Anytime I see a grant that I think is going to be for your business, I usually send them an email or let them know in the group. By the way, if you're not a part of the group, drop a comment down below. We'll add you to the private Facebook group. So when you're going and you're looking for your grant, you want to make sure that the grant is specific to you. So I got my iPhone right here with my notes. So a couple pros and cons of grants. So grants, three pros for you real quick. Three pros are grants are free, right? So the money is a free source of money. You don't need to pay it back. Number two, you're likely to win more. So once you're awarded a grant, other funders are likely to notice that success. And then it makes it easier for your organization to be awarded future grants. And then number three, it builds credibility. So a grant can give your organization increased credibility, and then private donors and then sponsors also recognize that you've got awarded grants, and they see that your organization is worthy of grants. And then we have the three cons of a grant. Okay, so there are strings attached. So for example, like we're looking on the screen, restaurants. Maybe you're not in the restaurant industry, so that's going to exclude you from this grant. So grants, they're very specific on, who they're awarded to. So this one that we're looking at, for example, is specifically for those in the food industry. Number two, there's complex reporting. So your organization may need to keep accurate accounting of how those grant funds were dispersed in the company. And then number three, the waiting time. So grants do take time. So unlike a loan, which can be sometimes processed in 24 hours, depending on what it is, but grants do take time. It could take weeks or months, right? So what happens with a grant is they open up the award period, and then in order for your grant to be processed and approved, the grant period has to be closed. That could be months. That could be 30 days, 60, 90 days, depending. Not only submitting the grant application, it doesn't guarantee that you'll be selected for the grant, right? So that's one of the other cons why sometimes people like to go the business loan route. But I always say give the grant opportunity a choice. All right, so let's dive into the Restaurant Disaster Relief Fund. On my screen, I have Chat GPT right here. I also like the Verizon Small Business Digital Ready grants, which I'm going to share down below. What they do, they ask you to take 2 training courses in order to apply for their grants. And the training is typically entrepreneurial based. So it might be something on like, doing your books, writing your business plan. And then once you complete 2 courses, which take, 15 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour sometimes, you have the ability to apply for the grants that they have on their system. So, Restaurant Disaster Relief Fund, Summer Round 2. So, as you see, the funding is open from now to September 3rd. So, if we're going to apply for this grant and we're in the restaurant business, um, there's a chance that we won't be getting awarded until sometime after September 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Grants are also going to ask for the ideal candidate. So, you're a small business in the restaurant industry, you've experienced challenges related to natural disasters, but you haven't let that deter you. So that means, something pushed you back. That could be a natural disaster. That could be the pandemic that we just came out, and you need some help to keep your business afloat. So all grants are going to ask your first and your last name, number one. Number two, the best phone number to reach you. Please put a number where they can reach you, because there's chances they might call you, and once the grant process is closed and you're awarded, they need to get in contact with you. Number three, your email address. Number four, and I will put my business email address if you have one. Now, if you have a personal email address, that's fine. But you do want to make that email address professional. So maybe your first initial and last name. If your your email address is Go Raiders 24 touchdown, I would highly encourage you change that to something a little more professional that represents your business. Number four, your gender, male or female. Number five, your race. And then also check all that apply. These are just for demographics, so they can go and say, hey, we awarded a male, Black, mixed with Hispanic, X amount of grant funds. Do you identify as an immigrant or a refugee? Number seven, are you LGBTQ plus? Number eight, do you consider yourself an individual with disabilities? Yes, no, I prefer not to say. Number nine, for all my military and veteran friends and clients and business partners, this is for you. Do you have any military affiliation? So for myself, I would click veteran. What is your age range? What is the relationship in your business? Are you the owner, the manager, an employee, partner, volunteer, or other? What was your path to business ownership? Okay, so you have a few options. I turned a hobby into a business. I inherited. I purchased my business from someone else. So you just want to click on the drop down what applies to you. Number 13, what is the name of your business? Number 14, what is the name of the business website? Facebook page, if you have one. Number 15, 16, your Instagram. Now, if you don't have any of these, just go ahead and put NA in the space provided. What year was your business funded? Now, number 18, this is why I highly encourage you have all your documentation and be in compliance with the government and locally and federally, because they're going to ask for your employee identification number, right? So this is your business's social security number to simplify it. Now, please select your company's industry. So we're going to jot down for this one specifically, right? It's going to be food or beverages. So keep in mind that can be you're a food truck. Maybe you're baking you're baking cookies and cupcakes out of your home. You would also qualify for this. Maybe you're a beverage company. You run a probiotic lemonade stand out of your kitchen. Your business address. So the importance of having a business address is to give that business a little more legitimacy. Now, if you don't have a business address, put the address that you are operating out. Maybe that's your home. City, state, zip code. Now, how is your business formatted? For my business, it would be a LLC. 25. What is the best, which of the following best describes your business? Let's click that and see. So like I mentioned, we're a bakery. Let's say we're a bakery. Is your business a franchise? And you will know if your business is a franchise or not. So examples of a franchise would be like McDonald's, things of that nature, Subway. How many locations? Now, if you only have one location, don't let this deter you. So a lot of these companies get funds from the federal government to help people with only one location or multiple locations, right? So in that pool of grant funds, there's money for everyone. The people with one employee, the people with two employees, the people with, three, four, and five, and, hundreds. So including yourself, how many full-time employees does your business have? So like I said, maybe you have 51 plus employees. Do any of your locations have more than 50 employees? What percentage of your team is from a historically underrepresented group, including but not limited to people of color, military, and persons with disability, etc. So this is where you want to look at your staff. Maybe you're like me and 51% or more of my staff are veterans. You would click that. What is the annual gross revenue per calendar? Let's say for an example, you make 101,000 between 250,000. What is your expected annual gross revenue for this calendar year? Maybe income has dropped, but you want to be 100% truthful on this. This is going to help your odds at being approved for the grant. Did any of your locations earn more than 3 million in revenue? Yes or no? So disaster related questions, here's where it can get a little complicated, but that's why we're going to have ChatGPT on our side. So you want to read the question. A natural disaster is defined as a major adverse event resulting from natural processes on Earth. So let's think of, hurricanes, floods, severe freezing. So it's either going to block, destroy roads and make it undrivable, disrupt communication systems. Maybe the power goes out, right? And threatens life and safety. COVID-related damages are not eligible. So anything that happened during that pandemic portion is not eligible for this grant, this particular grant. So what type of natural disaster has your business experienced? Warm weather. Maybe you're in the fire zone, right? Winter storm, tsunami, tornadoes, earthquakes. And what is the name of the disaster? So what you want to do is if you need to, you can go to, go to Google and then type in the natural disaster that you experienced at the time. So if it was Hurricane Harvey or something of that nature. And then the time frame, right? So if you don't know all of that, the disasters will be once you type in the disaster name, it will have a date and a time period that disaster was. The year also. Which of the following disaster related expenses do you plan to use the funding for? So payments on principal, maybe you need to pay principal or interest on any mortgage obligation, rent payments, utilities, maintenance, food and beverage inventory, right? That's something we all need if we're running a food related business. Operations and expenses. Payroll, right? We're paying our employees. Are you receiving any other types of assistance or business recovery from the disaster? Grants, loans, crowdfunding, insurance, yes or no? How much do you estimate the total damage? Just another drop down. So we're going to skip through a lot of these questions. You can see them, but a lot of these are yes, no, or they're income related questions. As a result of the disaster, how long were you or do you estimate being closed? So I was closed for less than a week. Okay, so if your business remains closed, what factors hindered your reopening? Please provide specific details. And your anticipated reopening date if available. So what I would do in this instance is I would copy this. I'm going to show you guys. Now I would do a Control C and I would go to ChatGPT. I have my new window open and I would say, my food and, oh, that's one too many O's. My food and beverage company experienced significant closure and disruption due to, let's say, Hurricane Harvey. That's the only one I can think of. Our operations were halted for 45 days. Answer, not say, please write. Please write me a response to this question. Now we'll go here and Control V, and then let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Oh, it don't want to let me do it. Hold on. Let's do like this. Let's do a quick refresh. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so now I'm getting a response. So infrastructure damage, supply chain disruptions, staffing challenges, utilities, services. So here's my response. So I don't recommend you just do a copy and paste, but what I recommend is the areas that apply to you, that you go ahead and copy and paste into the application and reword it so it can apply to your current business. So let's say we did infrastructure, and we're just going to copy and paste just so the video is not extra long. And when you're using ChatGPT, you want to talk to it like it is a person. So the more you can provide information, the more tailored the response will be. Supply chain disruptions, staffing challenges, utilities and service interruptions. Now, these examples are just going to give you an idea of, because your business is already shut down. You want to be a little more detailed than saying, hey, we were shut down for 45 days. The power was off. We could say so instead of saying the power was off, we could say, oh, we experienced utility and service interruptions. Essential utilities such as electricity, water, internet. All right, so those are just some examples. Let's go back to the application. And then here's the most wonderful part. What influenced you to become a restaurant owner? In other words, what is your restaurant's origin? Max 300 words. Okay, so that's when we go back here and we talk to ChatGPT and we tell ChatGPT, I have ran my own home-based bakery for over a decade. My background in the military. And you just want to type in, add as much detail as you can. I employ distressed, I employ veterans and members of the community. And then here we go, we're in 300 words or less. Write me a paragraph. In 300 words or less, respond to this question. And then I do another copy and paste. All right, and then let's check out our response and see what they come up with. Okay, so the hurricane caused significant damage to our home-based bakery, affecting our ability to operate. The structural damage of the facilities were extensive. Kitchen storage areas experiencing flooding. Equipment like ovens, mixers, refrigerator units were destroyed or rendered non-operable, non-functional by water damage. So as you could see, based on that prompt, they condensed this to 300 words. As a veteran and culinary specialist, I decided to operate. I have dedicated over a decade to building my business. All right, so I would just do a copy and paste. I would obviously read through this. I maybe switch a couple words so it doesn't sound a little robotic. Tailor it to my special circumstances. So tell us about how the disaster impacted your business. Now I'll go back to Chat GPT. Let's see, based on the previous responses, explain how this impacted. What did that say? Explain how this impacted our my business. I'll say our business. So as I'm typing these prompts into Chat GPT, it's starting to get to know my circumstances a little better in my business. So as you can see, I just said based on the previous prompts. So based on the previous responses, explain how this impacted our business. And now it's saying the impact of the impact of the hurricane on our business has been profound and multifaceted. So you guys can read over all of this, but this is just an example of how you want to communicate with ChatGPT. So I would also have open Microsoft Word, and I would copy and paste these responses into the question and the responses into Microsoft Word. Let's see, what is the specific business goal? I'm going to do another copy and paste. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to type in 300 words or less, answer this question with passion. And I forgot to type the question, but it gets what I say. But I'm gonna type that again because I want it to be spot on with the responses that it pops out. We're gonna do that one again. I'm gonna go here. There we go. Did it wrong again. So we'll go there and then copy this one and type it in. My bad, you guys. I'm gonna put the colon. I'm gonna delete max 300 words. And now let's see what it gives us. There we go. Receiving a grant will be a pivotal moment in the home-based business, propelling us forward towards several specific goals. And as you're reading through this, there are going to be some things you want to take out. There's going to be some things that sound AI generated that you don't want to put in there. But I want you to, as these responses are getting popped out, I want you to just make sure you're reading through them. Before you paste them into the application. So here's one that I've typed up before. So communities are a significant part of what keeps small businesses strong, especially during difficult times. In what ways do you and your business connect in the community? So here's one that, Rich Casual has responded to. So at Rich Casual, our commitment to supporting customers in the community is multifaceted, reflecting on our mission to drive entrepreneur success and foster economic growth. So what I would do is I would just same thing we've been doing on the previous questions. I would, say based on the previous responses, and then I would highlight this and copy and paste. And then your final clicks, please declare if you have any conflict of interest. Conflict of interest are not limited to, but include a company, employee, family member employed by DoorDash, or a DoorDash employee being financially invested in a company. So my assumption is this grant is funded by DoorDash, and they want to know if you have anybody on the inside that's a family member that may be a conflict of interest. For me, I don't know anyone that works at DoorDash. And then they ask what type of conflict of interest, husband, wife, family member. How did you hear about this grant program? Hello, Alice communication. This is how I get the emails from Hello, Alice. A lot of you guys get the emails from me. You could still click that. You can click word of mouth. You can click other. You can click entrepreneur support organizations. And then you're going to click submit. So for this example, I'm not going to submit the application because I don't own a food service business. But one last thing I want to show you is another grant opportunity. So we're going to check out Verizon Small Business Digital to make sure I can get back in. All right, so let's go ahead and click on here. Okay, so here is the Verizon Small Business Digital ready. So we'll click get started. And then this is a list small business grants sponsored by Verizon. You're going to read the terms and conditions. We're just going to try to get through this really quick. Are you completing this application as a lead business owner? So that's for my people who are single member managed LLCs or multiple member. So either yes or no. Like on the previous application, you're definitely going to have to put your business information. That's going to be consistent across all of them. Your email. Do you have a list contact? Yes or no. Business website, social media accounts, legal business name. This is going to be the name that's on your W-9 forms. Are you doing this as a DBA, doing business as? Primary street address, primary business address. Go to the next page. How's your business formed? But let's skip ahead. This is all general information. Now, here's where it gets good. What industry is your business in? Now, it looks like this one is open up to a lot of more businesses, so it's not specific for food and beverage. You can go finance and insurance, management, administrative support. There's going to be age, sex. How does your business identify? Does your business does the lead business owner have a disability? Is it veteran-owned businesses? Is business owner Hispanic, Middle Eastern? What's the race of the lead business owner? We're going to skip through these. I want to get to the questions so you guys can see the questions. And this one looks a lot easier. So it's not asking you to fill out a lot of questions or questionnaires. It doesn't look like they're asking for any business plan or any of the questions like we looked at the other one. So I'm going to post this video, guys. You guys will get this first before it drops on the YouTube. But make sure you comment down below if you have any questions, if you need help, or if you need any of our staff or myself to walk you through this so we can get you paid. Remember, grants you don't have to pay back. some of the pros of grants. Um, I think one of the biggest ones is that you don't have to pay it back. Some of the cons are they could be specific to certain industries. Another con is they take a long time or they take a longer time. You typically have to wait till the grant process closes in order to be reviewed and rewarded. So, you guys, thanks for watching and peace out.